I think he probably told them they all have to wear pussy hats just to jam a machine head, and that's why. What's up, dudes and dudettes? How we doing? Back with another video. Alright, this time we got an update on Phil Anselmo's whole Confederate flag thing. It turns out it wasn't a Confederate flag that he was disavowing. Stupid media, always going straight for the throat. I have a whole article coming up on how, heavy metal has just gotten woke nowadays. So check this out, let's get into what they're saying here. Update. I screwed up as a freaking news reporter and I reported the wrong information, and he says that he disavows the white power flag, not the Confederate flag. It says June 3rd, 2023. This is an update version of the article that was originally published on May 27, 2023. As you know, I did a video on that and I completely disagreed with, him disavowing the Confederate flag. That was completely ridiculous. White power flag, on the other hand, I get that 100%. The original version of this article incorrectly stated that Phil Anselmo publicly disavowed the Confederate flag, when in fact he was referring to a white power flag that was being held up by a couple of Pantera fans during the band's concert in Sofia, Bulgaria. The update story follows below. Metal nowadays has gone just like everything else. Woke, ridiculous. I was into metal because it was hardcore, you know what I mean? That's what you turned on before you got in a fist fight or got drunk behind the freaking Stater Brothers when you were ditching school back in the 9th grade. The 54-year-old singer made the comment while performing with his bandmates on May 26 in Sofia. He was addressing several fans in the audience who were holding up the sign, "See video below." Oh, we got video on it this time. Before launching into the closing song of Pantera set, "Cowboys from Hell," at the Arena Sofia in Sofia. What the fuck, that's just the weirdest sentence. Philip told the crowd, "Sofia, I gotta say this, incredible audience. One more thing, there's a person over here holding up a sign, trying to ruin the fucking show. I disavow the fucking flag. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous, man. Keep politics out of this shit, it's boring." See, now it makes a lot more sense. He's talking about a white power flag. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like I said in my last video, all that push and pull, he went to freaking Dime Bash, they gave him some shit. He pushed back in a wrong way, so that, I get, that makes sense. Don't wave one of them flags in my face. It's caused me enough trouble trying to fucking push back from you dudes, you know what I mean? But again, like I said, the Confederate flag, why would you disavow that? That has nothing to do, if you're educated, it ain't got nothing to do with this and that and all the shit that these people are saying. Bunch of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? It was on TV on a kid's show on top of the General Lee. It just meant you was freaking Southern. You was a hillbilly and you were proud to be that hillbilly. Ain't nothing wrong with being a bit hunky, you know what I'm saying? Alright, more than 7 years ago, Anselmo was at the center of controversy after he made a Nazi-style salute when he performed at the January 2016 Dime Bash event at the Lucky Strike in Live in Hollywood in honor of late Pantera guitarist Dimebag Darrell Abbott. Now, see, I was all around the punk rock scene in South Central, back in the day, and I'm sure it ain't changed much. You got a bunch of heavy metal / punk rock pissed off kids that just want aggressive music, and 99% of them are Hispanic dudes, you know what I'm saying? So I can understand how these dudes probably just took all the information that stupid shit like these media outlets like to push out, misinformation or not have the full story before we just start running our mouths. I ain't no better because, I was just reporting on what, on what they said the last round, and of course the information's completely wrong. They want to be quick to jump down someone's throat, and it's ridiculous. He also appeared to say white power as he made the gesture, but later claimed he was joking about drinking white wine backstage and was reacting to audience members up front who says they were taunting him. If you watch him explain it in the aftermath, these dudes were heckling him, so 99% of people would do the same thing. They're just not some famous singer, Before he delivered the Nazi salute on stage, Anselmo already had a history of making troubling racist statements, including several white pride speeches in various Pantera shows in 1995. Again, if you weren't there, you don't know, but a lot of that shit's pushback, you know what I mean? A lot of that shit's pushback, but I'm not the freaking gatekeeper of freaking all things Pantera. If you want to get a further explanation on what that was all about, the man's still up and walking, you can ask him. I'm just spreading the info. Back in May 2019, Anselmo was asked by UK's Kerrang! Magazine, which when you're a major outlet like this, I'm reporting on some of these things, and the information's completely wrong, because they don't care. They want to jump up and they want to get their news info. That's why I'm making this video, so that I can make an update on the video that was actually kind of shitting on the dude, because like I said, I don't agree with him disavowing the Confederate flag. Okay, so he was asked by UK's Kerrang! Magazine if he feels the Dime Bash debate is something that he has moved past. He responded, "I feel like it's ridiculous. I made an off-color joke and boom, it's like I'm literally Hitler. I'm not. I take each individual one at a time, in the way that any logical individual will. I have love in my heart. Over the years, I've learned to take the first step with love and to put good faith first. I get along with everybody. If there's any doubt about my political leanings, people should get it out of their heads. I was raised amongst a dazzling cast of characters, from the theater, from the mental hospital, from walks of all life. All colors, creeds, and kinds. It's absurd to me that anyone in this day and age would judge anyone by the color of their skin, their heritage, or their religion. I'm a harmless guy. I'm a reactionary, not a troublemaker. And that I get. Like I said, if you actually did history instead of just listen to all kinds of crap that you hear on the internet, I mean, I know that's, going against everything I'm doing, but still, you would know that this dude grew up with a pretty diverse, like he said, cast of characters in his life, dude. That's why I don't believe that shit for 1 minute. I don't believe any of these kids that are screaming, "Oh, he's racist because of this and that." You know what I mean? You haven't even done a bit of research to find out who you're calling racist. So they can just cram sticks of butter up their ass and slide on down the road. You know what I'm saying? In the days following the Dime Bash incident, Machine Head's Rob Flynn, who played Pantera songs with Anselmo at the event, released an 11-minute response video in which he denounced Anselmo as a big bully and racist. Oh, this dude is such a pussy. I don't give a fuck, dude. Anybody that acted like the way this dude acted, I don't give a shit. This dude is just a complete fucking weenie. The dude literally got on the internet and just started crying about this guy. He knew that was going to try to boost his popularity up because he wanted to be on the woke side, which is a fucking sellout, which is something that metal went against since day one. And look what happened to him. His whole band left him because he just went woke freaking, I think he probably told them they all have to wear pussy hats just to jam a Machine Head. And that's why, unfortunately, I was a huge Machine Head fan, but I'm out now, because he pushed all them weird politics that I'm not into, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. He concluded by saying that he would never play another Pantera song again. So just fuck Dime, I guess, for, rest his soul. Just because, Phil's bitching and complaining and dude's not even gonna honor his buddy, who, if I remember correctly, straight up gave him one of his guitars, you know what I mean? So, but, this guy's politics are way more important than his friends and friendships, or to even sit down and be like, "Hey bro, I've known you a long time, hey, can we hash this out or whatever?" Even if you're gonna take a freaking punch to the face, I'd rather do that. We get head up and then I know where I stand. These fucking people, man. Anthrax's Scott Ian, who is Jewish, released a statement on his official website saying Phil's actions were vile, and he invited Anselmo to make a donation to the Simon Wiesenthal Center. Now this dude's got a lot of nerve for freaking having a song that says "Speak English or Die." Like, everybody went woke. People I thought that were just the hardcore I looked up to because they were toughest dudes in the crowd ended up being the biggest pussies on the planet, and that's disappointing. So let's see what else we got. Vinnie Paul, who hadn't spoken to Anselmo since the band split in 2003, was dismissive when asked for a comment on the singer's white power salute. "I can't speak for him," Vinnie said in a 2016 interview. "He's done a lot of things that tarnish the image of what Pantera was back then and what it stood for and what it was all about. And that's sad." I mean, come on, this dude had a grudge against Phil since the day he died. He blamed Phil for what happened to his brother, rest his soul. And I get that, because I get the big picture. If Phil didn't act like a douche when he did, but come on, he had problems, you know what I'm saying? If you've ever had to deal with those kind of problems, you'll know it changes you completely. So anyways, he's always had that grudge, ever since the day he passed, rest his soul. I get it. If they would have stayed together, they would have been on a bigger stage. There wouldn't have been a way for someone to just run up and do what he did. That makes sense, but I don't think that's where the blame lies, but that's just my opinion. Let's move on. In 2017, Anselmo blasted a false journalism in the metal community for suggesting he was racist because of his actions at Dime Bash, and rightfully so. These dudes couldn't even get this article right. In weeks after the Dime Bash incident, Anselmo's Down project canceled a number of shows, including at Francis Hellfest. Did he type that right? Anyways, Dutch Festival, Florida Rock, and UK's Download, which was a bunch of bullshit because, I mean, that's what I'm saying. All you dudes are quick to, dude's still there. You can ask him, "Hey, what's up?" You don't have to cancel him. You can freaking quit spazzing. Look what happened to Bud Light. They ran off to freaking just pat those dudes on the ass and they're losing theirs. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good idea. The singer wrote an open letter to the Hellfest organizers in which he said it was not the right time for Down to tour. He also revealed that he was suffering from a recurring knee injury and needed rehabilitation. He just didn't want to deal with you guys' bullshit. You know what I'm saying? This big media, like how they get things wrong, like how they did here, are just gonna jump, spread this like wildfire, and then that's the one thing, I'm gonna stand on the fence when I make these articles. I'm just spreading information, you know what I'm saying? If it's wrong, I'm gonna have that opinion on it that it's wrong, just like I did in my previous video about this. But now, again, the media screwing things up, got everything wrong, and now we know what the real story is, which makes a lot more sense. It continues on. The past January, Pantera's appearances at the two rock festivals in Germany, which were scheduled to take place in early June, and a concert in Austria were canceled following an outcry over Anselmo's previous racist remarks. Yeah, those dudes are real quick to try to be on the right side nowadays, ain't they? They got some bit of a questionable past, if you ask me. I think they're the wrong people to try to be freaking pointing a finger at anybody, if you know what I'm saying. Pantera was scheduled to appear at a Gasometer in Vienna on May 31st and at Rock am Ring and Rock am Park festivals in Germany as part of its spring-summer 2023 European tour. But they act like a bunch of pussies and they missed out, so fuck them. There was additional criticism with regard to the fact that Rock am Park takes place in Nuremberg, which is known in its English form as Nuremberg, where Hitler supporters held a series of mass Nazi party rallies between 1933 and 1938. See what I'm saying? See what happens when you shit in your own backyard? And you gotta run and pat the enemy on the ass. So the video, the dude's just backpedaling. That's the rest of this. I'm not gonna go on with the rest of it. I'm just gonna put the link so you can read the rest of it and see how much these guys gotta back up because they screwed up their info. It's a bunch of bullshit, and the guy's proven to me that he's a bullshitter and doesn't like to get information before he puts some shit out there. And I'm repeating the stuff on the internet. Now I'm completely wrong, you know what I'm saying? But we will check out the video a little bit if we can see what's going on in there.
I gotta say this. Incredible audience. One little thing, as a person over here,
See, there you go. See? Yeah, it's a white, fucking white power flag. You know what I'm saying? So he did the right thing, 100%. And of course the media was quick to just take it up.
But looking at everybody in this fucking place, man.
Yeah.
I got one last question for you. Hey, if and when Pantera comes back through this motherfucking place called Bulgaria, so be it. Who's gonna come see us jam again?
And there you have it, folks. In conclusion, don't listen to everything you see on the internet, apparently even including the shit that I say, you know what I mean, because of these jackass fucking reporters. Just wait till one day I'm one of these reporters and I'll get it right, you know what I mean? I'll be up the ass of the mofos to get the right freaking information. There you have it for the news segment. I'm going to go ahead and end this video with my day 2 of the Revolution Is My Name guitar practice. I don't know if you noticed in the last video I kind of spelled the letter wrong, but I don't really give a fuck, you know what I mean? You get the idea. If you want professionalism, tune in to CNN, I suppose. So, anyways, we'll see you on the next round. Be good or be good at it, and take care of yourselves.